and I hope you guys are doing well. Today we are going to read Miss Sally and the Panther by Bobbi Miller and Megan Lloyd. Okay. Miss Sally Ann Thundered and Whirlwind was a woman of wonder. All in the day's work, she roped a hurricane, tied it in her spinning wheel, and outspun the steam mill. Then, with one hand, she knitted a shawl. With her other hand, she milked a cow, churned the butter, and then baked buttermilk bread. Come late night, she blew out the moonlight in a single breath and sang the wolves to sleep. In fact, it's a fact that she had her fair share of adventures, but her finest adventure, so she told me, was her meeting Fire Eyes. It happened one fine morning. It was bone chilly, so Miss Sally Ann wore her best bear fur to the wild woods to gather onions and her stew. She came to a place where the trees grew so tall they blocked out the sun. Atop the highest branch crouched the most savage beast, a panther whose eyes glared with fire. Fire Eyes the Panther, 5 barrels, long whiskers to tail, and hugely smart and mean as tarnation. Looking down at the deer woman, he licked his chops and twitched his whiskers. Slowly he lifted his hunches in a great swaggerous stretch. He sharpened his claws one at a time on the tree branch. In a single bound, he jumped from the limb to face Miss Sally's eye to eye. His tail slithered in the air like a snake. Now Fire Eyes thought, what a fine, sleek coat that is. That would keep my aching shoulders warm at night. Now Miss Sally Ann thought, what a fine, sleek coat that is. That would keep my aching feet warm at night. With a roar, the panther thrashed his tail about, knocking down a line of oaks. Miss Sally Ann grabbed the vermin's tail. His mighty claws dug out a giant gorge. And then she slung him up in the air. He flew so high and wide, she thought him lost forever. Nope. The vermin fell like a star. Cat that he was, he landed on his feet, right in the middle of a briar patch, prickier than ever. Fire Eyes let loose a roar. A thunderific skunk lost their stripes. He pounced, and the two tumbled backwards in a scrunchie of petticoat and fur. Through the day they wrestled. The panther twisted as Miss Sally Ann turned. He chomped his powerful teeth so close she smelled his fishy breath, but she was determined to have the pelt. She jumped on the vermin's back, grabbing hold knuckle white tight. He raced around and around like a spinning top. Miss Sally Ann laughed and still kept hold. He bounced and bounced high past the sleeping she-eagle. Miss Sally Ann gathered eggs of her favorite eagle eggnog and still kept hold. In one terrifyish moment, Fire Eyes reared like a mustang, and the two sprawled backwards. The fight turned into a true conboberation. Miss Sally Ann twisted as the panther turned, and Vermit jumped on Miss Sally Ann's back, determined to have that coat. Through the night they wrestled. then raised such a thunderous racket, stars flew away like meteors. The moon dipped onto its side, the Milky Way curdled, but neither one backed down, backed up, or backed out. By morning light, Miss Sally Ann thought, now, this panther is rip-snorting fine fighter. Fire Eyes thought, now this woman is rip-snorting fine fighter. For a moment, they stood, nose to whisker. Then, in a twinkle, Miss Sally Ann smiled. Sure enough, Fire Eyes smiled right back at her. And don't you know, the two became great and glorious friends. Miss Sally Ann pulled the thorns from the big cat's paws. Then, lighting the way out of the dark woods with the fire in his eyes, Fire Eyes carried the basket of onions and eagle eggs. He came to be quite a handy-dandy cat. He used his claws to plow the kitchen garden and used his tails to brush the chimney clean. At night, after she blew out the moonlight, Miss Sally Ann sat by the firelight, sipping her favorite eggnog. Fire Eyes curled up close by to keep her aching feet warm. Miss Sally Ann covered his aching shoulders with her best bear coat. And then, a great and glorious friends do, Miss Sally Ann, Thunder Ann, Whirlwind, and Fire Eyes sang the wolves to sleep. I hope you guys enjoyed this story, and I will see you guys a little bit later. Bye!